Constantly use the reminders. Discard the discarding itself. Let go of the letting go itself. Let the reminders purify themselves constantly. Don't let it become like foul, not useful. Don't be obsessed with such a thing. To be indifferent, leave it for nothing, is foul. Because there is no purification, no brightness, no purification from the emptiness. This is just dwelling within body and mind is called foul. Doesn't work, not useful. Diligently use the reminders to purify the internal and external samsara because it's the same thing. Step back, discard the discarding itself. Step back from the stepping back itself. Discard the discarding itself. Step back from the stepping back itself. When it's not working, it's not useful, it's impossible to bless beings. That means the perfections, the parami that you have is like, it's a waste. It's a waste. Because there is no blessing. One sentence that is there cannot purify samsara. So we have to use the sentence that purifies samsara, that purifies itself. Samsara within and without is the circling within itself. There's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of recalls. They are all about karmic difficulties. Thoughts and recalls of the karmic difficulties. So just try to train yourself to think of something that purifies itself. The thoughts and recalls that purify themselves. For everything, step back to disengage from disengaging itself, to let go of the letting go itself, step back from the stepping back itself. In this way, it will be the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. Let's be thorough constantly. Otherwise, it's going to be no use. The perfection or the parami that is there is a waste because it's not useful. There are still difficulties. Still not yet make a conclusion with the enlightenment. How many Buddha eras has passed? It's impossible to continue with the essence of cutting through the deluded knowing or the enlightenment. Therefore, it's subjected to the diligence in blessing. It's not subjected to diligently dwelling or living. The attempt to dwell is diligently living within body and mind, within all things. That is just dwelling in oneself diligently, not diligently blessing beings. Diligently bless, diligently purify thoroughly. There's a lot of offsided, or that's projecting the desire within meditative power, contemplation is always soaring forward, projecting forward. So step back more often from the stepping back itself. No grasping for the non-grasping itself. Step back to not grasp for the non-grasping itself. Your eyes and ears are not blind or deaf, so just open them as usual, don't close them. Recall that which is purifying itself, the reminders that purify themselves, to be used more often, the sentence that purifies itself. Let's use them more often. Both the world and samsara, they are full, massive, tremendous. They are just illusion. It's impossible to be fixated truly or truly grasped. It's full of all that fabrication, integration, fully within samsara for both humans and non-humans. All those fabrication of karma, creating realm of existence, varieties of karma. It's impossible to be fixated even one thing. All elements and dharma are meaningless, are anatta. Realms are anatta, non-self and meaningless in itself. It's anicca also. It's impossible to be fixated and grasped. They are just fabricated karma. That's all. The deluded in the seeing and knowing is the first mistakes of all beings. Because there is no cutting the deluded knowing and then grasp, and then holding on to. That is the first mistakes. Deludedly knowing and seeing, fixated in seeing and knowing itself. And then they use this delusion in knowing and seeing to be deludedly grasping for other things continuously. Therefore, we have to step back to disengage from disengaging itself. Let's make a conclusion with the enlightenment thoroughly, so that all the delusion in seeing and knowing will be cut off right at the origins. We have to step back to disengage from disengaging itself totally, simultaneously with the whole samsara. In this way, samsara will not become samsara itself. It will end all about realms of existence and samsara ending. Step back to disengage from disengaging itself, to not attach to the non-attachment itself, without grasping for the non-attachment itself. The emptiness doesn't grasp itself. Stepping back to not grasp for the non-grasping itself, the purification will be clearly. the desire of samsara, that is just about significance and meanings. It's not just about the mind and all things. Even significance and meanings within the mind is already the desire that is short term. But the mind used towards all things is the long term desire. So step back to not attach to the non-attachment itself. This will be clearly seizing the system of samudaya, of samsara. Samudaya is the cause of suffering, cause of karma. Those who have been here for a long time, it's significant to be diligent to purify, to unwind, so that you be a great support for blessing. Until Nirodha and Nibbana will purify the habits. It's not to change habits, it's to purify habits. The word habits are not a good thing. It's all about karma and karmic difficulties. Even you change it in this way or that way, still not okay. We have to purify habits well. We have to use something that is not the habits to purify habits of samsara. Discard the discarding itself more often. Think of this sentence more constantly to guide the way. The attempt to discard that is there, it will end it. Discard the discarding itself will turn into purification of the emptiness simultaneously. All the maintaining and sinking mind within thoughts, recalls, emotions and feelings, seeing and knowing will be dissolved all by itself. Constantly reminding with this sentence, let go of the letting go itself, to purify samsara more often. The stepping back is there because all that projecting forward, which is a lot, will cut off the path of the desire. It's not just stepping back normally. It's step back from the stepping back itself. What is there to be left in samsara? If it is, then let's see. Let's be diligent. This is not just step back from body or mind. Step back from the stepping back itself. What is there to be left? It will turn to be purifying of the emptiness without traces. Let's diligently make a conclusion to purify for samsara. This is the purification that purifies itself. Those with great blessed fortune, they are not fixated with the place that they live. Even their body, even them oneself, they just form up the body mind to bless, and that's it. It's bygone. They are not fixated to the place, to the body and mind that they are formed up. The places can be changed for blessing. They are not stuck with just birthday or the day that they are passing. Blessing and that's it, is bygone. We have been born in so many landscapes. No regrets at all when it's time to leave. Stepping back much more. Don't be engrossed with just one's own mind. Stepping back much more from the stepping back itself. Then it will be let go of the letting go itself, not grasp for the non-grasping itself, discard the discarding itself. Stepping back from the stepping back much more. Otherwise, there will be always significance within the mind, within memories, within all about seeing and knowing, feelings and sensations. That's the suffering. If unable to purify through the emptiness, it's not okay. Huh? The rest is just nonsense. Even wisdoms, a lot of wisdoms is nonsense. Impossible to purify through the emptiness and extinction. The wisdom will turn into the nonsense matter right away. The habit is the attempt to dwell within the mind and the body. Is the habit. The habit is the attempt to dwell. So step back much more. Step back from the stepping back itself. Disengage and then step back from disengaging furthermore. Step back from the stepping back itself furthermore. In this way, it will be complete, absolute. Why having long life? You don't have to take the medicine for longevity. It's because of purification of the emptiness. It's beyond divine. It's the purification of the emptiness that makes you live long, not the medicine. Even they want to make a medicine for longevity, all that focusing towards all things is already burn and destroy the body mind. No matter how much you want to have long life, go ahead. Otherwise, all those emperor who wanted to live long, they are deceived. They are told that there are some good medicine, but actually all the day by day, they don't know that their projecting mind is just burning their body. Karma burning their body. Even they're gonna find any damn thing to take, it won't help. This is unlike all the medicines. Let go of the letting go itself, emptiness that doesn't grasp itself, it will purify the karma and karmic difficulties. Look at all those masters, they can live long, longer than expected. Just thought of living, they will live on 1,000 years or 10,000 years. They don't take medicine. Even the divine food cannot compare to this. Emptiness that doesn't grasp itself. No grasping for the non-grasping itself. It cannot compare. Even the divine food cannot compare to this. They just think of living. They will live. If they want to go, they will go. All those the arahants, all those masters. Karma towards all beings, or big or small animals. If we hurt and harm them, they will become our involved parties of karma. The mind has no measurement of sizes because it's the same. There are no difference. Whatever they formed up, opinions and meanings and thoughts are not small. Even their body size are small, but their mind is not that small. The revengeful is not small. Their body is just small. So don't be careless for any karma that you are done. Just compensate. Use the purification of the extinction. Disengage from disengaging itself. Discard the discarding itself. Let go of the letting go itself. Purify through the emptiness altogether. That's the compensation for all the karma we have done from the past. Step back from the stepping back itself completely and more often, that's all. It will be successfully benefits for all through the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. To use the mind towards anything is just the relation of karma. It's exhausting. Step back to let go of the letting go itself. For everything is let go of the letting go itself simultaneously all together.